Hi guys, how's everybody tonight? I made it. I'm a little bit late, but I had to finish my watering. Chapter 5 tonight, The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace, Wattles, written in 1910. This is one of my favorite chapters. It's called Increasing Life. So I'm going to go through this chapter. None of these chapters take longer than 10 minutes. I'm here every Tuesday night, typically at 8. Sometimes I'm a little late, but we just kind of go with it. And I should be here next week. Yes, absolutely. Okay, chapter 5 is Increasing Life. I almost feel like I should give you some analogies before I even start the chapter, but I'm just going to follow along as I normally do. If I think something needs to be, I will stop, and then I'm going to give just my thoughts on it after I'm done reading the chapter. Like I said, no more than 10 minutes. Okay. Here we go. You must get rid of the last vestige of the old idea that there is a deity whose will it is that you should be poor, or whose purposes may be served by keeping you in poverty. The intelligent substance, if you remember, is the Creator, the universe, the Creator, your God, whatever that may be, doesn't matter what religion, okay? The intelligent substance, which is all, and in all, and lives in all, and lives in you, and it lives in me, is a consciously living substance. Being a consciously living substance, it must have the nature and inherent desire of every living intelligence for increase of life. Every living thing must continually seek for the enlargement of its life, because life in the mere act of living must increase itself. This kind of goes with that that saying Robert says. I always say it too: if you're not growing, you're dying. If you're not looking forward to something in the future, I mean, do you have still the desire of increase, of more life, more being? You know what I mean? I think all of us, I can't say all of us, there are probably 95% of the population on the entire earth do not live to their potential. We have so much potential way beyond our realm of thinking, because what environment we were around, what folks we were around, our parents, whatever, we inherited their thoughts, their beliefs, their limiting beliefs. Okay, so keep that in mind. Excuse me. A seed dropped into the ground springs into activity, and in the act of living produces 100 more seeds. Life, by living, multiplies itself. It is forever becoming more. It must do so if it is to continue to be at all. That kind of makes sense. If you're not growing, you're dying. Intelligence is under the same necessity for continuous increase. Every thought we think makes it necessary for us to think another thought. Consciousness is continually expanding. Every fact we learn leads us to the learning of another fact. Knowledge is continually increasing. Every talent we cultivate brings to the mind the desire to cultivate another talent. We are subject to the urge of life, seeking expression, whichever drives us on to know more, to do more, and to be more. In order to know more and be more, we must have and do more. We must have more. We must have things to use, for we learn and do and become only by using things. We must get rich so that we can live more. Does that make sense? The desire for riches is simply the capacity for larger life, seeking fulfillment. Every desire is the effort of an unexpressed possibility to come into action. It is power seeking to manifest, which causes desire. That which makes you want more money is the same as that which makes the plant grow. It is life seeking fuller expression. I think that is so cool if you think of it in that aspect. I mean, we all can grow so much. The one substance desires to live more in you, hence it wants you to have all the things that you can use. It is a desire of God that you should get rich. He wants you to get rich because he can express himself better through you. If you have plenty of things to use in giving him expression, he can live more in you. If you have unlimited command of the means of life, and by reading this book you shall. So, the universe desires you to have everything that you want to have. Nature is friendly to all of your plans. Everything is naturally for you. Make up your mind that this is true. It is essential. However, that your purpose should harmonize with the purpose that is for all. And what they mean by that is if you are to increase yourself, you must make it so that others are increasing right along with you. All men will be better off because of whatever it was that you did. Okay? You do not want to get rich solely to enjoy mental pleasures. You get knowledge to gratify ambition, to outshine others, or to be famous. These are all legitimate parts of life, but the man who lives for the pleasures of the intellect alone will only have a partial life, and he will never be satisfied with his lot. You do not want to get rich solely for the good of others either, to lose yourself for the salvation of mankind, to experience the joys in philanthropy and sacrifice. The joys of the soul are only a part of life as well, and they are no better or nobler than any other part. You want to get rich in order that you may eat, drink, and be merry when it is time to do these things, in order that you may surround yourself with beautiful things, see distant lands, feed your mind, and develop your intellect, in order that you may love men and do kind things, and be able to play a good part in helping the world to find truth. Somebody's on here. I see little hearts coming up, or smileys. Thank you, whoever's watching. But remember that extreme altruism is no better and no nobler than extreme selfishness. Both are mistakes. Get rid of the idea that God wants you to sacrifice yourself for others and that you can secure his favor by doing so. God requires nothing of the kind. What he wants is that you should make the most of yourself, for yourself, and for others. And you can help others more by making the most of yourself than any other way. You can make the most of yourself only by getting rich. So it is right and praiseworthy that you should give your first and best thought to the work of acquiring wealth. Remember, though, however, that the desire of substance is for all, and its movements must be for more life to all. It cannot be made to work for less life to any. So if you are working so hard that you are getting ahead, other people are falling back for whatever reason, that is not doing it in a certain way either. So keep that in mind. We want all for one for all, all for everyone. We want everyone to come with us. Remember, oh, I already read that, sorry. Okay. Intelligent substance will make things for you, but it will not take things away from someone else and give them to you. You must get rid of the thought of competition. You are to create, not to compete for what is already created. You do not have to take anything away from anyone. You do not have to drive sharp bargains. You do not have to cheat or take advantage. You do not need to let any man work for you for less than he earns. You do not have to covet the property of others or to look at it with wishful eyes. No man has anything of which you cannot have the like, and that without taking what he has away from him. That reminds me of jealousy. I just did a really short live earlier today about jealousy. So that's a good one you may want to take a look at. All right. I am aware that there are men who get a vast amount of money by proceeding in direct opposition to the statements in the paragraph above, and may add a word of explanation here. Men of the plutocratic type who become very rich do so sometimes purely by their extraordinary ability on the plane of competition. And sometimes they unconsciously relate themselves to substance in its great purposes and movements for the general racial upbuilding through industrial evolution. Rockefeller, Carnegie, Morgan, etc., have been the unconscious agents of the supreme in the necessary work of systematizing and organizing productive industry. And in the end, their work will contribute immensely toward increased life for all. Their day is nearly over. They have organized production and will soon be succeeded by the agents of the multitude, who will organize the machinery of distribution. I gotta take a sip. I'm really dry, sorry. Almost done though. Okay, the multimillionaires are like the monster reptiles of the prehistoric eras. They play a necessary part in the evolutionary process, but the same power which produced them will dispose of them. And it is well to bear in mind, I'm spitting all over myself. I'm so sorry. Power, okay, let me do that again. I'm so sorry. Okay, I said soon will dispose of them. And it is well to bear in mind that they have never been really rich. A record of the private lives of most of this class will show that they have really been the most abject and wretched of the poor. Riches secured on the competitive planes are nearly satisfactory and permanent. They are yours today and another's tomorrow. Remember, if you are to become rich in a scientific and certain way, you must rise entirely out of the competitive thought. You must never think for a moment that the supply is limited. Just as soon as you begin to think that all the money is being cornered and controlled by bankers and others, and that you must exert yourself to get laws passed to stop this process, and so on, in that moment you drop into the competitive mind, and your power to cause creation is gone for the time being. And what is worse, you will probably arrest the creative moments that you have already instituted. So you're definitely going to go backwards. Know that there are countless millions of dollars worth of gold in the mountains of the earth, not yet brought to light. And know that if there were not more would be created from thinking substance to supply your needs. Know that the money you need will come, even if it is necessary for 1,000 men to be led to the discovery of new gold mines tomorrow. Never look at the visible supply. Look always at the limitless riches in formless substance, and know that they are coming to you as fast as you can receive and use them. Nobody, by cornering the visible supply, can prevent you from getting what is yours. So never allow yourself to think for an instant that all the best building spots will be taken before you get ready to build your house, unless you hurry. Never worry about the trust and combines and get anxious for fear they will soon come to own the whole earth. Never get afraid that you will lose what you want because some other person beat you to it. That cannot possibly happen. You are not seeking anything that is possessed by anybody else. You are causing what you want to be created from the formless substance, and the supply is without limits. Stick to this formulated statement. There is a thinking stuff from which all things are made, and which, in its original state, permeates, penetrates, and fills the inner spaces of the universe. A thought in the substance produces the thing that is imaged by the thought. Man can form things in his thought, and by impressing his thought upon formless substance, can cause the thing he thinks about to be created. Okay, so that was chapter 5. Any thoughts on that? I especially like this chapter because I think that other people end up forming our thoughts on every single subject because we only know what we know. So what we are learning from, early on, from even pre-birth, they're talking like the last trimester all the way through 7 years old, our paradigms are already formed for us. We don't have much of a choice. We are surrounded by our environment, by the people that are taking care of us, whoever that may be, and whatever their thoughts are. So, unless you are aware of this when you become older, you don't even know that you have a paradigm. You don't even realize that you have limited beliefs. But you are picking up on somebody else's limited belief. That doesn't have to be yours. We get to choose exactly what we want. And who wouldn't want more growth? Always. Aren't we always seeking for, more food, more shelter, more everything, more life, right? Otherwise, why do we work ourselves silly, right? Okay, so look at it like building wealth is the same thing as cultivating a garden. It does it. This is good. I just happened to think of this. Who has seen Earl Nightingale and The Strangest Secret of the World? And he talks about this. If you got a spread of land and you are planting seeds, that land does not care if you're planting poison or if you're planting corn. Whatever you plant will grow, right? Same thing with our thoughts. Whatever we are planting here and thinking about, that is exactly what we are bringing into us. That is exactly what we are bringing about. Okay? I have fought with this for many, many years on other people telling me that I can't do something. Who the hell are they to tell me what I can or can't do? I'm sorry, but that would be my choice. If I choose to grow, get the hell out of my way, right? Who are they to hold me back? That is total BS. So, do you kind of understand what I'm saying? Other people think they know best for everything. Nobody knows best for you except you. You know? Oh, hi, Ed. Medina. How are you? Gosh, I haven't seen you for a long time. I hope you enjoy this. Being mindful while I'm planting. Absolutely. Yeah, you got it. So, you know, whatever you plant in that garden, so shall you reap, right? Whatever you shall sow, so shall you reap. That's a tongue twister. Okay. So, it is very, very important to be consistent with effort. You gotta have patience. Everybody wants it now. I gotta have it now. You gotta have patience, because if you don't have it now, there is a reason for that. Either you are not ready to receive it, or something is holding you back. You are not ready. So trust God's journey for you. You know, trust that journey. Enjoy it. We can enjoy it. We're going to come up against bumps in the road. We're going to get knocked down. Just pick yourself back up and keep moving forward. You know, don't give up, because then nobody moves forward. And doing it for the right reasons is so, so big. Because I got to tell you, there are some pretty good network marketers out. It doesn't even matter. It doesn't even have to be a network marketer. Any business person, you know, and they just, I get so worked up when I try to explain this, because it totally pisses me off when somebody else tries to limit me because of their limiting thoughts. That's yours, buddy. You can have it. I don't want it. Go away now, right? Live to your potential. And I'm telling you, as I said in the beginning, 95% of us, if not more than that, never live to our fullest potential. How sad is that? How sad is that? We all just settle. Yeah, thanks. Seriously, though. Okay, so let's look at it like, I just want to give you a couple of analogies so it just kind of makes sense. I like the planting one. That's good. So we can look at our goal, our destination. We can reach that destination by providing clear directions, right? Okay, so that's got to be our GPS. And it recalculates when you take a wrong turn. Doesn't our GPS do that? Okay, so now if you adopt a healthy mindset, you are achieving the same thing as that GPS does for us when we're driving. Give us clear, distinct, perfect instructions. And you know what? If you do it wrong, then that is up to you. That is up to you. You are not following in that certain way. And you know, we just had a mastermind on this book, and I'm telling you, it was so, so beneficial. And I just felt myself growing so much, but then I take like 3 steps backwards. Every time I thought I grew, you know, it's like, okay, I got this now. I get all excited. I got this. Here we go. And somewhere down the road, it's like, Lisa, you fool. You didn't have that at all. You did not have it at all. So how naive am I? Every time I learn something, I think, okay, here we go, here we go. It is just the tip of the noodle. You know, it is just the tip. There is so much to learn. I shouldn't even say that. It is not too much to learn, because it is, all this book is filled with is principles. Each chapter has a principle. So study that principle, incorporate it into your life, live by those principles. Now you might be doing something. Do you know what I mean? If we are learning these principles but we're not taking action, I'd be a good one for that. or we just discard them, then what good is that? You know what I mean? Anyway, Faith, hi, sweetheart. I'm getting so excited. We are going to Nashville in 2 days. In 2 days. In fact, it's late enough in the evening, I can almost check in already for my plane. How cool. So, anyway, so that GPS is just like a healthy and wealthy mindset, okay? GPS, you get your mindset right, your GPS is clicked in and it is cruising, okay? Let's see. Yeah, if you don't have clear goals, yeah, that makes it pretty tough, you know? Okay, think of electricity. Electricity is power. It powers lights, right? It powers, God, I get so tongue-tied when I try to explain these analogies. But, okay, just as electricity powers devices or it brings light, money is a form of energy that empowers individuals to create and improve their lives. So we can learn to generate, we can learn to attract and effectively utilize this energy for financial well-being. So think of it along those lines. We got to have electricity to power certain things, to have light when it's dark. Money does the same thing for us. It brings us more options. It gives us more use of things. And that is how you're going to become rich, is by using the tools that we have. Most people don't know what those tools are. And you know what? Read The Greatest Miracle in the World, chapter 9. Read that. Robert says 100 days in a row, your whole life would change. Do you know what? I have never completed my 100 days. I have gotten to 82. How freaking sad is that? For as long as I've been doing this, 82, and I don't have the strength or the capability or the common sense to finish that out. Are you kidding me? I should be slapped. Seriously. Every time I do, I start all over again. And if a mentor knows that these things he's telling us to do works, and it has not been proven that this does not work, anybody who has followed this book knows they have become rich. There's this huge procession of them leading all the way to The Secret and Rhonda Burns and Bob Proctor. You guys know all that, right? So now you can think of wealth as a ripple effect even. Use the analogy of a pebble, okay, dropped into a pond, right? You know what that ripple effect is, right? That's how wealth can be created as well, right? With that ripple effect. Goes back to bringing all with you. All for one, one for all. Bring people with you. If you are doing things in a manner that you are getting ahead, but nobody else is, your success is going to be short-lived. I guarantee you it will be short-lived. You got to be doing things for or in a certain way. You have to think and act in a certain way. And these are all principles that are common sense, but they're not unless you put it into this book, The Science of Getting Rich. That really didn't make sense, but it did to me. I hope you guys kind of got that. I got you laughing too. Uh-oh. We are human. Absolutely. And I don't know if you guys know it, but I think you both do. I do give this book away completely free. So if you do not have a copy, reach out and get your copy. And Robert also said to read chapters 4, 14, and 7 first before you read the rest of the book. Then you go back, read the rest of the book. Okay? Robert says if you read those 3 chapters in that, it's got to be in that order. In fact, I read those 3 chapters every single night now. Every single night. Seeing how I screwed up other things, I thought I'm going to fix it here. Yeah, I got to do it all. I got to do it all. Right? But these principles, once you get them and you start living by them, your world is going to start changing, and it could happen like that. It could happen like that, I swear. 4, 14, and 7, in that order. Yep, so you're going out of order a little bit, but then go right back to the beginning of the book. So I think those are the 3 most important chapters. 4 is the very first principle. 14, I believe, is acting in a certain way. And chapter 7, of course, is gratitude. And one key thing that you can always see, before I started reading the 3 chapters in a row every night, I was just, after I read the book, I don't know how many times, and you know what? I still didn't master it because I'm still doing it, right? I'm not exactly where I want to be in my life. I'm getting damn close, but that is where I want to be. So if I had this book mastered, I would already be there. So I'm going to say the same for you guys too. If you are not where you should be right now or where you want to be, then just master this book. Even if you just master a couple of the principles, get gratitude down. That's huge. Because before the 3 chapters, I was just, continually reading the book a chapter here. I would pick 1 chapter every day, and that's what I would read and or listen to. If I was struggling with gratitude, I would go right to chapter 7, and I would concentrate on chapter 7 only for that day. Because if you do not have gratitude, ain't nothing gonna happen. Ain't nothing. We have to be grateful for it just like we already have it. And that's what we have to be grateful for, just like it already is. And act like it is. This is an acting game to some extent. It is. You need to straighten your act up. So do I. So, all right. That's all I got for you guys today. Next week, chapter 6. I hope you guys are enjoying this, and all the other replays, chapter 1 through 4, are on YouTube, or I'm sure you can find them in my feed as well, but you'd be scrolling. But they are on YouTube, and my YouTube channel is at Lisa Marie Cook. That simple. All one word, Lisa Marie Cook. So check it out. If you guys could subscribe, that would be totally cool, because I have to get to 1,000 subscribers in order to get my charity on there and monetize for that. So 1,000 is a pile, especially when I'm only at 80. I got a ways to go. So any sharing, any likes would be greatly appreciated. All right, out of here. And Miss Faith, you beautiful lady. I can't wait to see your pretty face. All right, bye, guys.